I usually receive the evening before which of the pearls I'm going to talk about. And I wait for that intuitive guidance. So I have what the pearl is going to be about, but I don't necessarily know which one is going to be chosen for this week. I think it's all related to wherever the planet is at. So until about midnight, I had not received anything about the pearl and or even a topic for the nugget. So I just declared to myself that I'm going to be with it and see what shows up and then go to bed. So I went to bed at about 2 a.m. last night with, we're going to make it about tools and treasures for
And
this.
Mynoo, I think I'm still spotlighted. So you might want to unspotlight me since I don't have that tool at my disposal tonight. So I know they want to see your beautiful shining face, and I am in the background letting everyone in. So thank you all for joining, and very excited tonight.
So it's changed now, right?
No, I think I'm still on the screen. So
oh no, Mynoo, you're there. Mynoo, you're spotlighted.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, great. Catherine is just using another computer that she's not familiar with, so it may just be that. Okay, we, take nothing for granted, so here we are. 7 key tools and treasures guiding us into the next era of our planet and the next phase of our lives. So the first one, and I talked about this a little bit with the Miracle Journeyers yesterday, and it is the first tool that is guiding us into the next era of our planet. And it is actually a shift from this whole giving aspect, where we give, to in fact adopting a sharing mindset. So shifting from a giving mindset to a sharing mindset. Remember, we are in the realm of rejoicing, and we are working with our 10 commandments, which are the facets that form the foundation of our new world, where uncertainty is certain, unknown is the known, change is constant, take nothing for granted is the modus operandi. Unconditional acceptance, it lubricates expansion. And it's a switch from survival to thriving, a switch from sustainable to regenerative. And it is about up-leveling from alignment to flow to coherence, up-leveling from spectacular results to extraordinary results. That's just the foundation. So these tools and treasures are there to guide us as we build, sometimes rebuild, sometimes resurrect, sometimes build fresh, new on this foundation. So these tools and treasures will guide us as we go about our day-to-day life, work with big plans, strategically or tactically. So this first one, switching from a giving mindset to a sharing mindset. So this era is all about sharing. Remember, collaborative co-creation of coexistence. There is a shift from command and control to collaborative co-creation of coexistence. So those are the waves that we can work with, build on, well, ride, surf. So when you are in this giving mindset and you give with great generosity, and you give and you give and you give even more, because it makes you feel good at giving. And in doing so, we often forget to allow ourselves to receive. And we are often not even aware of where we are at in the context of what we are giving. So if we are giving compassion or understanding, and we give and give and give and give, and it can lead to a point where we feel taken for granted, or we feel we've just given too much. But it's coming from a giving mindset where it's easy to forget what it is that you require. And you become so busy giving that sometimes there is no time to even ask or go and, replenish yourself. Sharing, on the other hand, is all about you share what you have. You share a loaf of bread if you have a loaf of bread. You don't have it, it isn't there to share. So it automatically switches how you behave. You actually bring in this very powerful tool of allowing automatically when you're operating from sharing. So you allow yourself to receive. And you know that you're going to be out there sharing a loaf of bread, and you had no time to go and make it yourself or allow it to, you allow a neighbor or a friend to bring it to you. And you receive it with grace, accept it. So you can go out there and share it. I'm just using a very physical loaf of bread example, but this applies to any resources, be it resource of your your energy, your focus, your thinking, or it could be something very, very physical like money. So the first key tool and treasure that is guiding you is really focusing on sharing. So many of us, we did take birth on this planet to serve. And your way of serving is what I'm saying will be supported greatly if you shift from a giving way of serving to a sharing way of serving. One, you're actually building on the collaborative co-creation of coexistence. You're actually creating an approach that is thriving and regenerative. And when you are continually replenishing your stores as you're sharing them, then you automatically are moving from being aligned to being of service to actually being in flow as you are serving. And when you already remove any lack or any fear that may be around whether or not you will have what is expected of you, given that people have begun to expect you to give, when you adopt a sharing mindset, there's a very high likelihood that you yourself will step into coherence with what you are here to cause and make happen. So there's a body of work that I do with the leaders of my business collective, and I talk about that each of us has an innate vibration. And when you step into that innate vibration, you are in coherence with yourself. So Catherine's innate vibration is inspiring greatness. So when Catherine stands in the space of inspiring greatness, she can be giving that to people, and that can exhaust her. Or she can step into inspiring greatness, be in her own greatness, sharing that with others. And every time she shares, it further accentuates and rebuilds her own repository of the greatness within her that continually inspires her. So, you can just choose whatever it is that you have been giving, be it money, be it intellect, be it your energy, your insights, your wisdom, share it. So you would have noticed whenever I talk about any of the pearls of wisdom or anything that I have shared in this series that Catherine and I have been bringing to you since 2020, I'm always sharing my own stories. Because that allows you to anchor it in a relatable way. But it also, in an odd sort of way, gives you permission to engage with some of the sensitive areas of your life. And it enriches you even further than if I had just given you a lecture with a bunch of theoretical insights, which would have been great, but not as regenerative, not as powerful in moving from alignment to flow to coherence, and not as potent in terms of collaborative co-creation of coexistence. So work with this key tool. And I did say to Catherine, I'm going to be, I would like to answer some questions today. So as I'm going through it, if you have any questions that come up, just put them in the chat. And Catherine, I won't look at the chat, but you work with that. The second key tool. The second key tool calls you to literally drop the notion of you have to do something, you need to do something, you should or you should not. And it's difficult, to just drop it just like that. And it's also super easy because we choose to declare what we have to do. We choose to declare what we need to do. We are the ones who say that we should do this and we should not do this. So it is actually very easy, and yet we've been doing it all our lives. So it can be a bit of a challenge to drop it. So I'm sharing this as a key tool, which is anytime you feel you have to do something, just pause and ask, what if you did not have to? What would you choose to do? So this is another one of those, mantras that I have, which is, what if you didn't have to? What would you choose to do? And now you can choose to do that, or you can choose not to do that. But it's coming from a very conscious choice in the matter. And really what you're doing by adopting this approach is you interrupt yourself from allowing yourself to be spinning because of the force of the moment, to actually being in the moment and making a choice, which is a very conscious choice coming from that. I have had so much fun with this. What if I didn't have to? Would I choose to do this? And then made a conscious choice. And that conscious choice may be that, no, I would not choose to do it, so I don't do it. And then you'll be in communication with whoever is depending on that. But you'll be coming from a position of strength rather than feeling obligated, which in itself is depleting of life force. And that's why this becomes, a key tool. So ask the question, what if I didn't have to? Would I still choose to do this? And then make that choice. The third one, I know that many of you who've done the journey to miracles and other deeper work with me, it often becomes your mantra too, which is literally like, stop trying. This era, just literally cross it off, wipe it out. Don't need to try anything. Trying is so trying. The innate vibration of trying is exhaustion. And how do you stop trying? You stop trying by, first of all, stop using that word even. I'll try. Well, why bother? You can say, okay, I will sit with it and make my choice. You see, when you just even say that, you're literally really reclaiming your dignity. There's something worthy about you, and that worthiness is going to be your discerning factor to decide whether you're going to do this or not. My yoga teacher, I have an online yoga teacher, he's wonderful. And it's like, it's changed his world completely. The first time he's getting me to, do this stretch, which I'm working with. And he says, just try. And I said, well, I don't try. He said, oh, how are we going to work together? So I said, well, I receive you. So tell me more about the stretch. And then he starts talking about what it does and stuff. I said, okay, now I'll have a go with it. But if I just accept, okay, I'll try, it just becomes so trying. Now it's a considered choice. What it also does, this particular tool, and each tool is a treasure, and each treasure is a tool in itself, right? So this particular tool literally removes all this trying that is sapping your life force. Because with trying, you can say, oh, okay, I'll try that. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, then you've got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that people are expecting you're going to try. So there are expectations that get set on you. And that becomes trying in itself. And then you do a little bit here and a little bit there. And, you're just in this soup of trying, but actually not getting anything done. And not necessarily uplifting from that. So you automatically become very present to what it is. So, in the past, if there was something that you would say, okay, I'll try that, pause, and say, okay, what if I didn't have to try? What would I choose to do? So I'll choose to get to know a bit more about what it is that I was just going to commit to try. And then I'll make a choice. So what I'm doing here now, and that it is literally a very definite change. It's like a bend in the river moment right now, where the river continues to flow, but it's flowing in a different direction. That's this new era. So I'm getting you to be very, very present. And you're becoming, if you are becoming a vigilante, it's your own, is the presence in your presence vigilante is what you're becoming. So by bringing everything into your conscious awareness, there is a synchronization that is taking place in what's in your unconscious and subconscious as you make these conscious choices. So you start becoming comfortable with the unknown. And unknown is the known. So in this realm of unknown is the known, okay, I'll try. You automatically go into phrases like, I'll try, and try then as you survive barely and you are coping, just not building the next phase of your life on the new foundation. Thriving is not there, survival is there, and you're barely coping with being sustainable, let alone regenerative. So this is a very powerful tool. The moment you hear the word try, just allow your own internal radars to interrupt. And make a conscious choice. Examine the inputs and make a conscious choice. The fourth tool is be and you have. This is Last year, I told you it's the era, it's the year of doing. This is all about being, and you have. So behave. When you find yourself getting super busy, remember, behave. You can have a behave t-shirt and, and you know what it's saying is be and you have. That's what it's reminding you. So proactively create your own collection of be words and choose a be word. Choose a be word at the start of the day. And if you want to change it, choose another be word in the middle of the day, whatever, you know. And remember, when you are adopting a be lifestyle, you always describe what that word is. It's all in the be book, which you can get on Amazon as well as on Audible. So the fourth tool is the be tool, the behave tool, which is be and have. Sarah and I have had lots of fun with this over the years. You know, we often go on a 7-day be lifestyle retreat, online retreat, and we just share what our be words are. And sometimes when we are working with a particular challenge, you know, be it a particular project that has got a deadline that we want to finish, and we buddy up, Sarah and I, and we say, okay, we're going to have a 7-day or 10-day be lifestyle, because it's so easy when you're up against a deadline, or you've chosen something that that people are counting on you to deliver. Very easy to get into the busyness of doing. So by choosing our be word, we share our be word, and sometimes we are not even able to talk to each other on that day, but we certainly share it, you know, on WhatsApp, and we describe what that is. We give each other feedback. We even report to each other on how it went at the end of the day, including if we forgot all about being. We do that too. So here's another thing that you can add when you adopt a be lifestyle. It's quite useful to have something that becomes an automatic check, where you check whether or not you were being what you've chosen that day. So I have now a practice of a timer every 60 minutes, you know, and it just it's a timer set for 60 minutes. So when it goes off, you know, I can just go repeat on it, but that's the moment. I'll take a minute to just examine what has happened in the last hour. So it's pretty cool, you know, I'm in my best behavior all day, knowing that the more I behave, the more I just can have by simply being. And I enjoy the journey. Doing flows naturally. Now we are adults, you know, we do so much work in planning and setting goals or vision boards. So a lot of that kind of stuff is already there. And we've got a lot of experiences in our lives. So we can certainly do what we want to do. We have that. By using the be, and you have the behave tool, you're able to tap into all of those experiences, but you're declaring that I am choosing to be this way. So when I choose to be magical, where I'm noticing, so the way you go is I say, I'm going to be magical today. A magical is a state where I'm noticing the wonders that I'm surrounded by, and, you know, experiencing my own smile and finding myself smiling a lot. Okay, so 60 minutes, the timer goes off, and I look at, okay, what were the wonders that occurred in the last hour? You know, and did I feel the stretch on my face? And even just, tracking the wonders, I smile, and sometimes I might just go in front of the mirror and do smiling yoga for a bit. 30 seconds of smiling yoga gets those muscles going. And then I'm back, carrying on, allowing the doing to flow. The timer goes off 60 minutes later, and I do another check. And it's so enriching, because when you do these checks, you're bringing conscious awareness to so many things that really are there for real. My whole thing here is to bring conscious awareness to what's real, as opposed to, whatever we might presume exists in a matrix. This is about literally living life outside of the matrix for real. You're not making it up. You're not imagining. You're actually tracking what happened an hour ago. So when you're taking on a project, be it recruiting new clients or turning around a contract that might have gone pear-shaped, or it may be something to do with your health. By the time you get to the end of the first day, your vibrations are so high, you are in flow. By the time you get down to the 7th day, you are completely coherent. And that journey from alignment to flow to coherence happens so rapidly, you automatically move from spectacular results to extraordinary results. Because the exuberance, the vitality, the life force, the focus, the sharpness of your brain automatically is impacted in a very powerful and positive way. So behave. I'm going to teach my grandsons this when I get back. Behave, Leo. And he'll go dancing. It's great fun to work with this. The 5th one, it's a treasure trove. So use the treasure trove build-up as your tool. So what this one is, a treasure trove of joy to feel happy. So this one is in line with what I talk about. Happiness is a decision you make. You don't do happiness. Nobody can make you happy. It's really a matter of your choice. You know it. There are times when you're feeling grumpy for whatever reason, and somebody comes and presents you with stuff that might have made you happy in the past, and you go, doesn't make you happy. Well, it's all about your decision. Now, what happens once you've made the decision to be happy? What's the doing part of happiness? It is actions that give you joy. So if you're seeking happiness, you get acting. Get into action. And you get into actions that give you joy. And sometimes, things may be going on and it's just difficult to even get moving. Which is why this is about build a treasure trove of joy to be happy. So keep building a treasure trove of actions that give you joy. Little things, big things, vistas, real stuff, memories. My 24-hour webcams of certain places, which I just love. It gives me joy. So keep building your treasure trove. Keep building your treasure trove. And I combine it with 4, be the behave tool, be and you have. So when I'm doing my tracking, what has occurred in the last hour, and there might be things in there that really give me joy. So in they go, into my treasure trove of joy. And of course, at the moment I notice it, I automatically have the experience of being happy. And it also means if I'm feeling really out of sorts and I decide I'm going to be happy just because I'm going to be happy, I don't have to then grapple with experiencing that because I can't think of anything that gives me joy in that moment. I can go open my treasure trove. And something or the other will start showing up, and you can then build from there. So continually build your treasure trove of actions that give you joy. For me, if all else fails, I just go into the 24-hour webcam of the Grand Canal, Venice. There's so much available to us, really. The next treasure trove to keep building is a treasure trove of blessings, to be in bliss. Being in a blissful state is just even beyond happy. And you can be on a quest and follow lots of processes to experience that little sliver of bliss. And really, what happens? All you have to do to experience bliss is to count your blessings. So building your treasure trove of blessings, the consequence of that is bliss. Doing actions that give you joy, the consequence of that is happiness. So the treasure troves that I'm talking about, the treasure trove tools, are all about, you take certain actions and the consequence is guaranteed. So you don't have to go striving for the consequence. I'm seeking happiness, go on, take actions. Make the decision and take actions that give you joy. Tap into your treasure trove. And you can even exchange, what you have in your treasure trove with others. You can even very happily share what you have, and it will regenerate because your friends will share theirs. So your treasure trove automatically regenerates. And with happiness, a lot of the time you hear people, well, try to be happy. I'm trying to be happy. Well, yeah, it becomes really trying. So literally drop it. Be happy, a state in which I feel exuberant, with a spring in my step, enjoying actions that give me joy. That's how I define happiness for me. And you can define it for you. What kind of a state is that? And in doing so, when you track every 60 minutes, and all you have to do is every 60 minutes for a minute or even 30 seconds, look back the hour before and see what happened. When I choose to be happy and I'm tracking whether I'm in that state, I'm continually adding to my treasure trove of joy. Similarly, when I talk about blessings, bliss, be bliss, is for me, it's a state in which I am in, experiencing, I'm in a state of abundance, feeling so special at how blessed I am, continually adding to my understanding of the blessings that are coming my way, that are there with me at all times. So every 60 minutes, I'm tracking what blessings have come to me now. And they come to you as real blessing. They come to you as awareness of blessings. And bliss happens and multiplies, regenerates. And I keep sharing it, so it multiplies even more. And the seventh one is a treasure trove of gratitude to anchor grace and peace. Peace is the consequence of gratitude. Bliss is the consequence of feeling blessed. Happiness is a decision, and it's the consequence of actions, proactively taking actions that give you joy. So a treasure trove of gratitude to anchor grace and peace. Continually building your treasure trove of all that you can be grateful for. Proactively being in action, as a gratitude hunter. Coming home with your conquests of, a very rich treasure trove of gratitude. Presences you to grace, it anchors it. And peace is a direct consequence. Gratitude is the key to peace. So when you feel you're desiring of peace, you go on a gratitude hunt. The game of gratitude can be hunted anywhere, and you don't even have to have the best of physical fitness. You don't need to have the hounds barking to get the prey out. You can actually find it yourself. Whatever state of mind or physical strength you may have, you can always go hunt for gratitude. And it automatically, as a consequence, anchors grace. Grace automatically results in feeling blessed. So you have like two things happening at the same time. You experience peace and you are in bliss. And all of these become actions that give you joy, so you are happy. You can tap into any of this anytime. Each of these tools and any one of these tools can serve you like literally infinitely till your last breath and make a regenerative impact on the planet and your loved ones. So use them, and the best part is as you use them, you continually start anchoring your own worthiness. You reclaim the remembrance of dignity. You become at the source of your life and you're making a conscious choice. So you're sharpening your choice muscle. And you immediately drop the victim vibe from your field because you're consciously choosing every step of the way and noticing it. Not just noticing it as in a flippant way, but actually even engaging with the impact it has on you. So the 7 key tools and treasures that I've talked about. The first one, switch from giving mindset to a sharing mindset. You can only share that which you have. So you automatically replenish yourself and you share even more. The second one, ask the question. Every time you feel you have to do something, ask the question, what if I didn't have to? What would I choose to do? The context is aliveness, and the subcontext is whatever your circumstance may be at that time. What if I didn't have to? What would I choose to do? The third one is drop trying. Stop trying. It's so trying. Decide, choose, and very consciously. And do it or don't do it. Stop trying. The fourth one is be and you have, so behave. It's so amazing. It's not be, do, have. Be and you have. Have a go. It is absolutely this way. Doing simply flows. The fifth one, treasure trove of joy to be happy. Build your treasure trove of joy, actions that give you joy to be happy. The sixth one, build your treasure trove of blessings. Count your blessings to be in bliss. And the seventh one is a treasure trove of gratitude to anchor grace and peace. So I am available and open for any questions, observations that any of you may have.
Mynoo, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. So rich. We were saying earlier before we came on, we have a little meeting and we were just appreciating the richness of what we knew would come through. And there are a couple questions that came through. They may have received clarification, but I'm just going to give them to you one more time. Gail, you still want clarification on these? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. So Mynoo, when you talked about the ability to inspire everyone, what is the difference between giving of yourself and sharing? Can you clarify that?
Giving, your emphasis is on doing. Okay. So what you're doing is inspiring everyone. Whereas when I am in the space of sharing, that which chooses to come through with the intention that it will inspire everyone, I am actually being inspiring. And I automatically start sharing what has inspired me. I'm very consciously aware of the relatedness that is important for someone to be inspired, so they take action. So I am very closely examining which aspect of my life, what is it that I did there that enabled me to feel inspired that this person can relate to. So I'm in a state of being inspiring, and I'm allowing I'm not actually engaged in doing at all. Consciously, I'm just simply sharing. So that the sharing part is like the doing is flowing.
Is that the same thing in reference to giving? And I'm just really, I'm going to be honest, I'm confused between 1 and 2 and 6 and 7. Everything else I got perfectly. So yes. I'm really trying to figure, because I've been giving and I've been sharing, and I'm trying to figure out the difference. Giving of my time, giving of my food, sharing, for Thanksgiving, so, having people over.
Very, very good. Very good. Thank you for that clarifying question. So giving of your time, are you in giving, you're giving of your time, and it feels good for a while, and then you land up giving more of your time and more of your time. And then there has been no time that you've given to yourself. Your me time disappears, whereas in sharing, you become very conscious that I can only share if I have it. So you automatically, when you step into a sharing mindset, if I'm going to be giving my time, then, for a particular purpose, then it's important for me to have my me time to replenish myself so that when I do give my time, it actually feels an empowering experience that I can continually regenerate rather than it feels empowering to begin with. And then it fizzles out because I feel, oh gosh, everybody's taking my time. You see the difference there?
I see the difference there, but I'm also trying to figure out, like, even an example of food. If you've given people food and you've shared your food, what's the difference?
So giving people food it's fine. You can be very focused on I'm giving people food and you just empty your refrigerator. But when you're into I'm going to be sharing it, you'll make sure that there is food that you have to share. So
And
you will
food
build
left,
in.
and food left for yourself?
You'll absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's the shift there.
Big shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's beautiful. And Mynoo, I just wanted to ask, so when we're in a sharing, that's why it's regenerative.
Yeah.
Versus
That's
the
why
giving.
it's regenerative. Because, just like I say, you focus on the thriving instinct, survival's taken care of. In a sharing instinct, you're receiving and you're allowing yourself to be enriched and is automatically taken care of in a sharing thing. Because just by what it means, you can only share that which you've got. So you make sure that you have it, you replenish yourself, you build that in automatically.
Beautiful clarification. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to run down the list. We have lots of questions coming in, which is amazing. We have a question from Sarah. What is the distinction between coherence versus alignment and flow?
The way I like to see it is, let's say I have a team of people that is working for me at work, and we are all aligned to the same goals that we have all signed up for. And having an aligned team is pretty good. You have a very high likelihood of achieving the goals that you've chosen. Now, there's a team and there are some goals, they're aligned to the goals, and they're working to make that happen. That same team, you have the goals. That same team, if they are in flow, so they're aligned to the goals and they are in flow, you won't experience sickness necessarily because people are in flow. You won't experience burnout because they are in flow. So there'll be a very different experience of achieving those goals. It's like it truly is an up-leveling from working with a team that is aligned and it's going to work. They're going to work hard to make that happen. And sometimes that working hard may not have them be in flow. But actually, if you up-level from alignment to flow, alignment is there. What you're doing now is bringing flow in. So people are in flow as they deliver whatever the goals are. It's a completely different experience. You can have many more things that can be achieved in the same time, and people will still remain in flow. Flow is regenerative. Working hard is not regenerative. Coherence, where not only are people aligned, they are in their own flow, and they are completely in coherence. So there's an inner centeredness. All in a coherent, when you feel coherent, all conflicts disappear. There is no conflict in you. When you're flowing, you notice the conflicts and you've created your strategies to get back to flow. But when you're coherent, you don't require any strategies. There is no conflict. It's gone. And so you're already aligned, you're already in flow, and then you up level to coherence. So you can imagine, what if you have a team that is coherent within themselves? They automatically become coherent in what they are delivering for the project, for the planet, to their families. All aspects of life start to coexist in a realm of coherence with ease, grace, and joy.
Beautiful. I want that like tattooed on my forehead, Mynoo. And what you always remind us, that working hard is not regenerative. I think we all need to repeat that over and over. We forget. Thank you. Thank you. Renelle has a great question. How is gratitude truly expressed? Renelle says, I tend to do it internally, mentally. Is this enough?
The thing with gratitude is express it in a way that you are acknowledging it, as opposed to expressing it because it's a good, because I have to if I want peace. So when you acknowledge something that you're grateful for, it's as if you're automatically, your vibration is one of generating. And then that generation of gratitude becomes regenerative. So it's okay to do it internally and mentally. I just love when it comes to gratitude. When I just proactively, create time segments where I go on a gratitude hunt. This is my hunting time, and I may be on a gratitude hunt as I'm chopping some vegetables. But I'm proactively, in a space of acknowledging that which I'm grateful for. I often do this, by the way. I'm often on a gratitude hunt when I'm cooking. So you can imagine the vibe in the food. It's rich in gratitude. It's anchored grace, and peace is just there.
I love that.
I don't know if that helps, but you will create your own strategies. Just get creative about it.
That helps a lot. Thanks, Mynoo.
And Mynoo, I think you're being called to come up with a new cookbook, Conscious Cooking. I feel it coming.
Yeah.
I know. It's.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Gail had one more question, Mynoo. I'm not sure if we got this addressed, so let's just touch base on it again, which is counting your blessings is being grateful. We get that. But what is the difference except for the consequence?
Okay, good one. So you said 6 and 7, right? Counting your blessings, the consequence is bliss.
I don't understand the difference between counting your blessings and being grateful. Because to me, when I'm being grateful, I'm counting my blessings.
Yeah. I mean, they do intertwine, Gail.
Okay.
So you can, now here's what happens. I'll give you a difference that shows up for me. I'm ready to count my blessings, as I'm counting my blessings for living in this amazing place that I do in Dubai. And here I am in Pune. I'm counting my blessings at being in this amazing bubble in paradise when all of the country is going crazy with the corona spread. I can be grateful, but I'm choosing to look at another level of gratitude, if you like, when I'm picking things to count my blessings. I count my blessings with the deep connection that I have to my own spiritedness that I'm able to operate with. I count my blessings at being able to connect, business world and spiritual world and personal upliftment all in one go. When I'm counting my blessings, I'm very present to the how I do this. Right? And when I'm being grateful, I'm just grateful for the moment. I'm grateful for the experience I'm having right now. The sun is just about to rise. The mist is lifting up from the lake, and I can see this tiny little dot of, goldy orange behind this little hill that's there ahead of me. So gratitude's in the moment. I count my blessings and having this amazing space to actually be at this time in India. So it's slightly different, Gail.
That's
you
a
know?
big difference, I think. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
But thank you for asking. You know, no question is too small and no question is too big either. You know, so just, and you saw that every question that I addressed, there was something in it for everyone. So when there is a question, don't hesitate. You know, always send it because it supports everyone. And when I'm talking to someone whose question I'm answering, the fact that it is occurring in your field, there is a nugget or an insight for you. So don't just sit back and listen to me answer somebody else's question as a point of interest. Engage with it. And, okay, what's there for me? It's occurring in my field, this answer. So thank you all. Catherine, over to you and we can complete.
So many clarifications tonight, Mynoo. You know, such nuance in these messages that you brought forth. I think we're finally starting to understand that fine line of difference. And thank you all for asking the questions, because absolutely, that's how we learn and we grow. Thank you all for being here tonight. If no one has any other questions, I think we'll be signing off. Another beautiful evening. I absolutely love it. I have a question. Would this be considered our 51st Pearl of Wisdom? Or is this a special evening?
It's a special evening.
I love
We'll
it.
have
So,
the 51st next week.
next week, be here, please, for our 51st Pearl of Wisdom. Great to see some of you we haven't seen in a while. We always love seeing your beautiful faces. And thanks for all tuning in on Facebook. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And mostly, thank you, Mynoo. Amazing.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.